Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this blessing. Welcome back to another episode of In the Middle of the Message. My name is Casey, and today I'm going to start off by wishing you a happy National Encouragement Day. And today I am grateful for a period of waiting, mainly in the sense of learning to wait and see blessings unfold. And recently, my friend, very, very close friend of mine, actually just had a huge blessing come through all in one day. She had been praying for a specific job at a company. I'm not going to disclose too much information, but she was able to not only be able to work at and for the company, she is able to work at the corporate office doing exactly what she does, in which she is a master at. And on top of that, after she told me she got the job, she calls me an hour later saying she got full time with great pay, mind y'all. And she got the other job that she was praying for, which is like triple the blessing, y'all. Like literally 3 phone calls back to back. I was like, girl, what is happening? Like, and just congratulations to her. And we love answer prayers. It just brings just so much peace. And today I want to start off with talking about social media, but not in a sense you think. My opinions on social media and parents and having my parents in there, enjoy it. I straight up enjoy it. All right. I don't know if that's common. I enjoy it. Like, I straight up have a ball. Like, I have my stepdad and my mom on there. So, my stepdad will be sending me some of the craziest stuff that I have not seen. My mom sends me cool stuff and also cleaning tips. A lot of stuff I didn't know that was supposed to be clean, like deep cleaned. I also didn't know there were certain parts of some of the appliances I had that needed to be cleaned. Um, Makes me nervous on how dirty my house is sometimes. But Lord anointed, please let nothing accumulate without me noticing. Give me wisdom and discernment. And I think the best part about having your parents on social media is you can send them those weird childhood videos. I don't want to call them weird, but relatable. So there was a video I saw and just sent her, and it was when you turn on your DS at night, this and you have the volume all the way up, and the volume on DSs were wild. All right, they were. Man, you were in a concert. If we could play concerts on a DS, I mean, I'd be sitting there jamming. I would jam to the music even in the video games I bought. And the video goes on, and like you turn it on and you slam it closed because you hear the footsteps of your parents coming in. And I sent that to my mom, and we talked about it a couple days later. I was like, "Yeah, you like the video I sent?" She's like, "That was hilarious. I remember you doing that." I'm like, "Yeah, you've had to take my DS away from me a couple times. And I think my books too." She's like, "Yeah, I remember, taking away your DS. I don't remember books exactly." I was like, "I remember you checking on me so much in my bedroom." And she was going on. She's like, "Because you would stay up till forever in the morning to read." I'm like, "Cuz it's a good book. The sentence can't just stop somewhere. And besides, who puts down a book when it gets to the good part?" But yeah, just enjoying being able to send weird little childhood tropes to my mom is so much fun. And speaking of parents, I was watching a show. I forget what it's called, but it's a show where they take like really misbehaved kids and they ship them to a more strict family, and they they help them teach discipline, they help to change their lives around. And in this particular episode, this two Australian kids, a boy and a girl, and they're like, they drink and they just don't go to school and they're disrespectful and they're not kind and whatnot. And there was a part where the girl, I think her name was Stacy, she was talking to the house mom, and the house mom was talking about how as a teenager she didn't understand her dad. Like, he wasn't always around in her eyes. Like, she wouldn't try to make a connection. He would try to give her advice and she would just kind of blow him off and just kind of, not really show compassion towards him. And this might get really deep, y'all, so I apologize. But one day it was too late, and that house mom's dad actually decided to end his life. And she never realized, like, it clicked with her that her dad was going through a lot, and he is human too, and it's like his first time living as well. And all the advice that he would try to give her, or the times he didn't think he understood, like him just making that effort, she didn't appreciate till he was gone. Like, she didn't realize it was too late to be like, okay, at least he was there. He was trying. He was working a full-time job and trying to be a dad at the same time. And it was difficult for him. And, she starts crying. She's like, it's just learning to give not only every person grace that is your friend, but your parents. Because they are trying their best too, whether you believe it or not. Now, this does not disclose saying all parents are trying their best. There are some out there, siblings, aunts, uncles, mom's dad, that are just abusive. All right, y'all, that's straight up like disrespectful. Lock you in a closet, don't feed you for a week. What, like that mom that just went to jail recently, didn't let her son like sleep in his bedroom for like months or something. Whatever crazy nonsense that was. Good lord. But just remembering that your parents need compassion too. And they're trying their best. And no, they're not perfect. Absolutely not. I mean, come on. Who's a perfect person on top of a perfect parent? Like, I don't know a single one. And not to mention the fact that this is their first time living too is a good thing to remember. But at least the ones who are trying, give some grace to. And I know it's really, really hard, especially right now. A lot of people are like, I'm blaming my parents for this, this, and this. Okay, yes. So build off of it. I saw a recent post where it said, your parents' ceiling is your floor. Like, you start from there and building from there. And I just thought that was really good. And just appreciating where you came from, which is easier said than done for a lot of people. And I try to remember what my parents would always say, like, we're not perfect. We make mistakes. You're going to get mad at mommy and daddy, but just know we love you. That enough helps me not put them too much on a pedestal. I have the tendency to, I have a deal with pride sometimes to where I have to be perfect in order to prove that I am worth the love and things I need, which is not healthy. And I still got to work on that myself. And that's not gospel either. You don't earn the love. You just are given it. It's freely given. But just remembering not only for parents, but your life in general, is you have to give yourself compassion that you've made mistakes and you've tripped up. And that's why you kind of have to look, I don't want to say kind of. The best thing I've done is not look back on my past that it was wreckage. Because, girl, let me tell you, y'all want to talk about hot mess in the middle of a message? Girl, like, I have experienced some things that I will not disclose in this because I know it is very sensitive. But just trust me, like, I've been through it. I've been I've been through it. And I don't like to look back on it saying, wow, my childhood sucks. My teenagers sucked. Everything sucked. Like, first of all, that's not healthy. That is literally killing the very good trees that are your neurons in your brain. You have to look on your life grateful in this situation. Like, even, I can easily say my childhood sucked. I can easily say my teenagers years sucked. But I had great friends. I had great opportunities. I was able to do sports. I was doing well in school. I was able to experience many things that other people don't. And I actually recently was talking to a close friend of mine, and she's kind of going through a heartache right now. And she sadly, like, a guy hurt her pretty, not just, he was rude. Let's just be real. He was a player, disrespectful, played her. She's sad. And I just kind of see myself in her, and she's sitting there like, I can't believe I let him do this. How gullible could I be? I even watched him do this, this, and this, and I was convinced. I feel betrayed. I let him like into my space, and I just get ghosted and all this, that, and the third. I'm sitting there listening to her, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I understand exactly what the heck. And the best thing I told her is, if only someone told me, if only, it's always an if only, right? If I understood the value that God talked to me, like describes about me, I think my identity in Christ truly, like the what he says, not what people tell me, not what the devil tells me, not even myself when I'm on a bad day, when I talk down to myself. 10 out of 10 wouldn't recommend. When you do that, I would recommend thinking of yourself as a little kid staring at you. Like, would you say those things to your little kid self? I would hope not. But I was telling her it's all about, and what I realized, it's identity. I mean, it goes back to that. It goes back to, what does God say about you? Faithful, you're beautiful, you are wonderfully made. He even says to focus and meditate on praiseworthy things and pure things and good things and noble things. And when you go down the hole of like, I'm gullible, I'm this, I'm that, this situation sucks, he deserved da da da, he, like, it's not, it's normal, okay? And that's the thing, it's where I'm leading up to it. And it's normal to feel those things, but don't sit there. It says to dwell on pure things, not angry things. It says, do not sin in your wrath. Well, if you're cursing the guy, because cursing doesn't mean just, I'm going to curse you. And then it even talks about malice, like put away malice and anger in the sense of a revengeful way, because it says God will take your revenge. And just to get to the point, I said, look at what God says you are. Write it down. Write it down. After, and I said after, because let's be realistic, you need to feel your feelings. And I said, write down, make a video, scream. Girl, I have screamed in my car. Everything you're feeling, how angry you are, and why you feel angry, and why this. And even tell God, I'm angry that I allowed myself, or what you think you allowed yourself. And try to catch yourself on how you talk. So, a scenario God, why in the world did I allow myself to do that? I know better. He knows better. He knows better. He said this. He said that. He said he loved me, and he did this? Absolutely not. I don't understand. I'm losing my mind. I am so angry. And I even prayed to you, and I prayed to you before that moment. I got no answer. What the heck? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And I laid it out, like full blown, all the thoughts. Whether they're true or not, I lay it out so I hear it. I'm like, okay, that's not true. Like, out loud for me, it helps. And I told her to do that. I told her, be honest and watch how you speak, watch your words. Not saying, like, oh, you need to be pretty and prim. Like, this is training her to be honest with God. And I wish I understood that when I was younger. Being completely, fully honest. And my dad even tried to get through me because, I'm a teenager. He says, you can be mad at God, he can handle it. And just going into those motions, honesty, full honesty, and how you feel, and then coming back, you reel it in. You don't run wild and you just on fire, just running around the yard, causing a wildfire. Like, that's not, don't condone that. But being honest with your feelings, how you feel, and then coming back, and then taking in what you learned. So, and I, of course, was giving her examples like this because I wish someone did it for me. But coming back in and just saying, okay, I'm frustrated, I am hurt, but this is what I learned about myself. I now learned about what he does. Thank you, Jesus, because now I know not to mess with him, period. And not to do this, that. Like, you learn about what I need to do, what boundaries I need to set, what are some red flags, like what are some possibilities. And I even told her, start thinking of a list of how to put yourself at a more valuable, honorable level. Because that's what it is. Nowadays, we just don't respect ourselves. Like, I hate to say it, that's kind of the most reason why we get played like this. Like, we kind of have to take some blame, all of it, because you can't predict what another person does. You can't. You can't. And you can't tiptoe and act like, I gotta be careful and I don't know what they're going to. No, you can't live like that. But you have to set healthy boundaries. And to all of my girlies and dudettes and even guys who are dating, set a standard, set a boundary, okay? If you want to hang out with a guy the first time, wouldn't recommend watching a movie together at home. It's just, and I'm not saying it's like dumb if you do, but it's not really a good environment to really get to know anybody, at least without a chaperone, because you don't know what that other person does, and they may seem nice over the phone because people will say what they want to get what they want. I'm sorry. It's just, it's a thing. And I've ran into that with guys. Like, they told me what they want till they got what they wanted. And then I was like, whoa, okay, where's the thing I want? They're like, oh, well, I guess. Like, it's truly how you value yourself. This is going to be such a bad example, but this is what I said at the time. If you want to value yourself at the front desk candy counter, like you get the little prizes for 50 tickets, girl, how are you supposed to weed out who's there for you and who's truly valuing you? You got to put yourself at the 10,000 tickets. Put some effort in. At least 500. Like, make them take you out. Make them go, like, if they're truly like, yeah, I want a relationship with you, and they're super sweet, and they're so kind, and they say they love Jesus, girl, make them come to church. Make him take you out. And if you have some things where you can't, like, really go out, go to a park. Like, come on, go walking with people. With people around, okay? Safety. Go walking. Go to TJ Maxx and just window shop. Okay? Go to a thrift store. Go get ice cream. Like, go somewhere. Make them put in effort. And you have to put in effort too, by the way, girly girls. You can't just show up all cute. I'm cute. Have standards for him, and then you present how you be treated, which doesn't seem as hard for my ladies. But be upfront, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm started being upfront in expectations. And even when the guy showed me he wasn't like fully capable, I still allowed it. That was me. Like, at the end of the day, I was like, I guess he'll change. He said this is the difference from month to month. Like, he was better last month. Maybe, nah, they'll show you who they are. This accidentally became a dating advice column. I'm sorry. But at the end of it all, ladies, gentlemen, value yourselves so people put in effort. You're worth it. You're a child of God, made in his image. He doesn't want you to get disrespected. Will it happen? Inevitably, yes. Because we live in a world of people. People don't want to respect people. People want to get what they want. They want to move on. Like, it is what it is. But don't allow a false sense of invaluable self-esteem and your emotions to drive every decision you make, because inevitably it will lead to a path that you didn't want. And this isn't saying take control of your life and you do what you need to do and self-heal. No, this is just being a healthy approach about it. That's really what it comes down to, and learning to do that where it works for you. Now, I'm not saying you can't do all these things or you should do all these things, and I'm trying to cover my butt, but this is what I have learned. If I had more self-respect for myself, genuinely more self-respect, just that alone, not even just a higher self-esteem, I think I would have avoided most of my dating mishaps. Honestly. And just honestly, yeah, like, I hate to say it, it is what it is. And putting the effort, like, that's it, just put in effort. And even then, like, you're worth dying on the cross for. Like, girl, dude, you are worth dying on the cross for. Like, he sent his one and only boy, to quote the pigeon version, one and only boy, to save the world, to save all the people. Because he wanted you to have a relationship with God and to know God and to know love. To know God is to know love, and to know love is to know God. And just remembering that life is not perfect. People are not perfect. There is going to be hurtful times. So make sure when we talk about encouragement, you have a good, healthy circle and learning that habit and being careful with what habits you make. Because then eventually, if it's a bad habit, you have to break it eventually. And that is difficult. But just knowing that there are people in your life, if you don't feel like you have people in your life, I'm so sorry. Please, I pray that you find people in your life. And it sounds bad, but make internet friends and you have Jesus. Like, Holy Spirit is a friend. He is called a friend, and he will be there for you. You just seek him and get to in his word and know that you are loved. You are loved. No amount of shame or disappointment or pride will break that when you have the love of God. And that's just the number one relationship you should be seeking. Because at the end of the day, nothing else is going to fulfill you. And I cannot tell y'all the joy and healing that came from when I got so broken when I had my heart first broken and I was alone in college. Like I had friends, but I didn't call out to them. I mean, I still was trying to figure out how friendships work. I wasn't exactly the most popular chick, but even with my friend group, they were all far away and I didn't know what to do. I didn't. And I just went to this little Bible community thing on campus, made friends, and truly learned that the gospel was God freely giving love to us. Freely, like on our good days, on our bad days, on the days we sin a lot, on the days we sin a little, on the days where we sit and we just can't move, and on the days where we can't do nothing but move. He was there, right there, carrying me, hugging me, speaking into me, reminding me of who I am and who he was and all that he does for me. And I just want that for all of you to have fe, which, fun fact, is the Spanish word for faith. To have faith and trust that you are loved, you are worth having love, and just to learn to be grateful for things in life, even when you feel like you can barely walk another step. And I know that feeling. And if you ever feel lower than that, please reach out to somebody, reach out to the hotline. I know they had recently changed the number because it used to be this long number. And what was it? Who was it that made a song about it? But at least in United States, from what I understand, it's 988. 988 is someone to help you, connect you, and just reach out to them because I believe you can actually text and call them. So, it got deep really quick. But what is the recovery today? Have compassion. Have self-respect for yourself. Build those healthy boundaries. Identify and feel those emotions. Then come back and recognize what you've learned. And breathe. Go outside, please. Get some vitamin D. The sunshine will change your attitude. Just sit. And if it's raining, well, then go outside and put your toes in the water. I don't know. Just appreciating nature. But y'all have a fantabulous day. And once again, if you are going to build a fence, make sure there's a gate. Have a great day, y'all.